Hey, welcome to the tested team. Me and my friend Bender are here to get a look at this project that I've been working on over on our channel, the Punish Props Academy. I've been building an animatronic Bender. I also have a car that he rides on. This project has led me way out of my depth. I'm good at 3D modeling stuff, but I've got to the point where things like the animatronic eyes, something I've never done before. But I'm in luck because my friends over here on the tested team have experience with such things, and I can plumb the depths of their minds for help and tips before I start pushing forward with this big part of the project. So today, I get to chat with my buddy Sean, and we get to talk about animatronic eyes. How you doing, Sean?
Good. I cannot wait that I love that you're doing this. I'm a huge Futurama fan, and you picked like the perfect perfect. It's just like the perfect encapsulated smaller thing to do, but still big.
Exactly. It's big. It's big. It's a real challenge. I've been working on it for months.
Yeah.
There's a scene in Futurama where Bender sells his body. He's just ahead, and there's one scene where he has a little car that he drives around. That's what I'm building. He wrecks the car instantly, by the way, so it's only in the one scene. If I can get it on camera here, here's the car.
Dude, that is fantastic.
There we go.
Yeah. So is this going to be going to like Dragon Con or something like that? I know you guys are big with that. Yeah. Okay.
That's the plan. That's the plan. I want him to be able to emote and react to people and say lines from the show.
Yeah.
We're working on his mouth too. That'll be a different video and different project. But I found these LED panels here that are flexible.
No way. Okay.
So we may have to have a conversation about that later. But today we're talking about animatronic eyes.
Yes.
And I have a great starting point. So this here, you can see, this is an animatronic eye arrangement that was done by Will Cogley, another YouTuber.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's got a video showing how to print this and make it work and everything. I don't even have any controllers for it yet. I just got this far to sort of like have a jumping off point because this has many of the features I already want.
Oh, that is fantastic.
So
it's amazing what you can get on the internet now. Like I dreamt of doing this stuff as a kid, and the fact that you can like do this at home now is just amazing. So obviously that it's going to have to be a little bit different for Bender, I guess.
Yes, totally. But this is a great place to start. Let me show you what axes of motion we have on this.
Yeah.
So the eyes can go up and down with one servo, so they can look up and down. And I think I want that on both eyes on one servo. And then left and right is the same thing, one servo to go left and right as I strip the gears on these servos.
Yep.
So I think I want that for his eyes, up and down, left and right.
Yeah.
Two servos. But then this has a servo for each eyelid. So his upper eyelid can go on one side, the lower eyelid can go on the other side, and vice versa. Now,
oh wow,
that's a lot of control, and I don't think I need all of that.
Yeah.
I think what we need for Bender that's really important are his upper eyelids especially.
I was gonna ask. It's you. Yeah. How are you gonna handle that? Yeah.
Sure. Because he doesn't have eyebrows to emote. He emotes with his. So I think his upper eyelid needs to be able to close, but also tilt back and tilt down. So like angry Bender, happy Bender.
Yeah.
And I think that the tilting could be one servo, and the opening and closing could be a second servo.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That seems totally reasonable to me. Like, and it seems like you should be able to tweak what is there to accomplish that. Do you think you have any problems? Like, are you going to need one extra servo over what that base rig has then in order to do that? Or I'm going through the mind. Yeah, do you need an extra set of servos?
So here's what I'm thinking: one servo to go eyes left and right, one servo up and down, one servo for the eye tilting, one servo for the eyes closing.
Yeah.
But then also he has lower eyelids, and those just come up and down a little bit.
Yeah,
and that would be a fifth servo.
Yeah. Oh man, That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds like, yeah, well mapped out. I think that seems like, yeah.
Let me show you the space that we have to work with too. I have a fun little addition here. One of the reasons I love YouTube is I can do part of a project, put it out into the world, and then get feedback. So this is the space we have to work with in there, and here's his visor. The fun thing I learned, the feedback I got was I put a screwdriver in here, and everyone told me I should add it to his antenna. So he has a screwdriver right in his antenna.
Genius! I love it. Oh my god!
So to unscrew this is a mock set of eyes that are just taking the place. But
so it seems it seems like the challenge here is I like Bender's eyes are so big. I wonder if that's gonna cause any hiccups.
Right. So the plan is to have an eye rig that slides into here and locks into place right there. Yeah. So that I can test things like that. So, for example, I thought maybe the mechanisms for the eyes would live here, and then maybe the servos live. You can see I've put some mounting points inside a Bender there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Plates and stuff to hold batteries and controllers and all that. And I thought maybe the servos could live on the side and have bike cables that control the mechanism.
Yeah.
But if I can fit it all right in this visor, I might be able to. We can all live right there.
I mean, that would be really sweet because then it's like almost like a pop-out unit if you need to like service or whatever like that. But it could be a little more challenging. And it's, it's deceiving. I've found like on these projects, it's like, oh, there's tons of room in there. And then like, you very quickly like run out of room and it becomes like a rat's nest of cables and stuff. A
concept that I've really sort of leaned into recently with this project as well is that I'm going to build more than one of these heads. It's going to happen. This is version 1. Yep. So, for example, I got to figure out how to finish Bender, what sort of paint. And I have some ideas.
Yeah, like it, because you probably don't want like shiny, but
right. But I would love to get him chromed.
Oh.
And I could buff it to be like a satin chrome.
Yes.
So I fully expect a few years from now, I will have a shelf of different versions of Bender's heads. So making these mechanism parts modular so they can swap in and out, I think is going to be really, really important, especially with something like this. Because I'm definitely not going to get this on the first try.
No, I think I would definitely lean like just. It would be very satisfying if the visor was a modular unit. Like I really do like that idea. And, you could even, then you could have like spare visors that you can pop in and out or whatever if need be. Right. But like, I think if you could do that, that might be extra work, but I think that would be, I think you'd be the most happy with that in the end.
I agree. I'm definitely going to want to change things with him in the future. And also, so another realization I had is that this is a puppet. We realized there's a car element, so you got to drive the car. His head is going to rotate. I would love if his head could tip up to talk to people because he's only 2 or 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
But then for the eyes and them talking, and I want him to say stuff from the show, I think a second operator is going to have a controller to do that. I was
going to ask, are you guys going to team up and there's the car person and the head person? That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So when we bring it to Dragon Con, we can puppet him and have him react to people, have him like I saw a Wally at Dragon Con roll up to someone and go, whoa, and like full on react. And I was in love in that moment. And I want to create those experiences with my Bender head.
Yep. I've seen, I have some friends in the droid community, like my friend Cyabil BB-8 with her crew. And the controllers that they have for those to puppet them it's insane. It's like that is like a whole other learning curve in like art form. Like you gotta learn the performance and like how each control moves together to like get it right. That's gonna be fun.
We'll have to Britt and I'll have to practice on our neighbors here. They're gonna be sick of us. Now, so for the back to the eyes. So I am planning on running everything with servos. I've got a bunch of these little guys here. I'll have to test them to make sure they're strong enough once I have the big honking eyes.
Yeah.
But to actually control the servos, that's the spot where I'm the most out of my depth. I do have a twin brother who is a coach for his high school's robotics team, so I'm going to lean heavily on his thing. But I'm wondering if you have any insights or guidance towards controlling servos or programming servos in any way.
I'm a bit of a novice myself, but I have, I did my ghost trap that the Ghostbuster Ghost Trap, which the doors run off of servos, and one of the things that I got where I found that you can get, like, for testing purposes, they have these little boxes that are servo controllers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I got one. I'll have to remember where I got it from. I think it might have been like Servo City or something like that. I got one that will control 4 at a time. So something like that, I think, would be really good for just plugging in, like, to test the movements out and everything, rather than having to go through the effort of, like, getting it hooked to the transmitter and all that kind of stuff. And I think they're just like, servo controlled, and like that's a great little one. You probably get it off like Amazon or something.
Yeah, I think that's where I got this guy.
And then
but I didn't know there was one with four servos.
And the nice thing about that one is it's programmable, where you can actually, it's programmable in the sense where it will basically record your playback, and then you can loop it. So what that would let you do is you could, like, program like one eye movement and just keep having it do that while you're, like, tweaking another eye movement on one of the other channels. So that might be really helpful, and I can put a link for that, because that's basically what was happening. Was what I found were that those little mini servos, and I was buying the ones with the metal gears, which are a little bit more durable, have a little more torque. They get really expensive. And so I was buying, like, the cheaper ones, but the trade-off on that was the cheaper ones, you'll get like 20 and maybe like 1 or 2 are bum servos. So I would use my little servo tester to test all of them, and then I would test the door mechanism when I got it installed, because that gave me more control if something went wrong, that I could go really slow or stop it or whatever, like that. So the bigger servo controller, I think, would be super handy, especially for that guy. And then as far as the remote control stuff, that I'm really a novice on, because I've only really dealt with that when we built once again, Ghostbuster stuff, the remote control trap vehicle. And that's where, you get into, like, your standard, I know, remote control car things are like maybe like 3 channels or, 4. So I'm guessing for Bender, you're going to need, many more channels, and then the ability to link them together, because I think you're going to end up having to, like, almost make a, like, you're going to have to link servos and almost, like, make a program where, like, when you do this movement, it also influences this other movement, so that it, like, is fluid.
Yeah. So ideally, what I want to be able to have happen is have a list of Bender sayings that we can pick from, and he'll start saying something, which means the mouth will animate, the eyes will move, but then you can use your controller to sort of override eye motions or head motions, which is possible. There's a program my friend was just showing me. My friend Chad over at Hoku Props was showing me about a program called Bot Tango. And it's for setting up animations on things like servos. So what's really cool is it's got a 3D interface, and you pop in analogs for your servos or whatever you're controlling. Okay. And you can even put the geometry of your 3D printed parts on it and rebuild your thing.
What?
And then the part I like is the animation is all keyframe animation, which is what I went to school for. So yeah, I'm really good at that part already, and I'm crap at programming. Yeah. So when it comes to programming the animation of the eyes, my plan is to first watch a lot of Futurama and take notes, which I've already been doing.
Yeah.
I want to get screenshots of all of Bender's different expressions.
Like your character sheet. Yeah.
Exactly, yes. And then use this app to go in and make all those keyframe animations so that when they get played back, it'll look appropriate.
Oh, dude, I cannot wait to see that. That once again, the advances in technology, what we can do now. That is, I had no clue that existed.
Yeah. So Bot Tango is the app. The other cool thing is when you're animating, you can have it set up hooked up to your physical thing. So when you're animating on the screen, it's happening in real life. Like you were saying before, setting up a little loop so that you can have the loop going and then tweak it. And so I can't wait to get to that step.
So for traditionally with that, you would do like the animation in like Maya or Blender thing, but you're actually doing like the animation curves in the bot software, Bot Tango. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. So that's really, dude, you've really gotten yourself into something here. Cause like,
I know
I'm looking at like, there's so many things like to learn. You're going to learn a lot from it. That's for sure. Like,
I really am. Right now I'm leaning towards using a Raspberry Pi to control a lot of this.
Okay.
But the only experience I have with Raspberry Pi is setting up a RetroPie to play NES games, which is not a lot. So again, I'm going to lean on my brother for some of his programming knowledge. But of course, I'm sure there are droid builders watching who are going to have lots of really good advice about how to control all of this stuff. So obviously, please share any insight.
Yeah, well, like I said, once you get further along, we should get like Mel to come in and my friend Sai, and Sai would be great. She's done lots of droid stuff and has a good team that we could consult. So that's really
awesome.
Cool.
I'm planning on scooting down to San Francisco for open source, and if I make it down there, I'll see if I can drag the Bender car with me. It'll be the first travel test. And then I believe at open source, a lot of people will probably have really good ideas for my robot. Yeah.
And I know I'm guaranteeing the internet the first thing they're gonna say is like, oh, is his eyes gonna move in and out? I'm like,
so that's one of the reasons why he's modular. Is imagine if I could pop this whole visor off. If we're shooting a fan film, let's say, if we need that effect, we can have an entirely different set of eyes we can just pop off and put on for that effect. Or to make his visor close. I don't even know how I would do that, but...
Well, you're running into that classic problem of like, it's even worse with this because it's animation, where the movie prop appears to do all of these things, but really there's like 3 different ones. And they're like, animation, that's all out the window. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Where does that visor really go?
And
then you get stuck as a prop builder, like, oh God, how am I going to make this work?
Yeah.
But you really want to. Yeah,
I do. It's the thing, and eventually I'm going to have to build a Wally. But that's the thing. When I wander into a con and Wally or R2 rolls up to me, and for a brief moment, I'm like, that's him. That's R2D2. It's the one.
Yeah.
And I want to create that same exact effect with my Bender here.
So with the iMech design and everything, you're doing this in like Fusion or a CAD program, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So can you so you'll be able to simulate the mechanics in the program to see like what may, or get you in the ballpark of what may or may not work?
Yeah, that's a good call. Going back to the bike cable thing, which I've never done before, but I assume will work perfectly. I don't know if that can be simulated in Fusion. I'm sure there's something. But when it comes to just mechanical linkages and stuff, you could totally simulate all that stuff and animate it for visually in Fusion. And I'll probably do all of that. But like I said, this gets me, as far as like linkages and ratios and stuff, this gets me really close, which is awesome.
That's great. And then where you're getting the design thing, can you actually download like the actual like design files, or is he just giving you like a walkthrough of like
for this guy?
Yeah.
There were instructions on how to put it all together and free prints and everything. Cool. When it comes to animating it, he has a board that he made
Okay.
specifically for this. In fact, there's a spot right on here for his board to go, which you can buy from his store. I may still do that just to have this to play with and practice
Sure.
and learn. But that's that whole thing. This is mostly a learning aid for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That has always been like growing up, like doing animatronics and stuff like that was always like, oh man, that'd be so cool. So it's awesome that you're just able to do this now.
Oh, it's so good. Did you? I got to imagine you played with RC cars growing up.
Yep, a good bit.
Yeah.
Mostly
me
built them
too.
and then instantly wrecked them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do. And this is just this is like 13-year-old Bill just would go nuts for this kind of project. Totally customized. I bought a 1/6 scale RC car for the bottom of this.
I was gonna ask if you just bought like a stock one. Yeah.
And have you played with it? It's enormous. 1/6 is gigantic. I had to cut it and shorten it down so that it would be the right scale.
Yeah.
I made also I forgot to show off these tires. The tires are custom made. I made a mold. These are cast out of urethane rubber.
Oh no way! Oh.
I even added a Mom Corp logo to the side of it.
Bill, I cannot wait till this is done. So the nice thing about this also is like if you're going to go to the open source server, you can if the car's done, you can have like reveal stages like
yeah. He can drive around now. It's great. He can make an appearance.
And then you said you want to try to also do things where the head itself will rotate and like hopefully tilt back and forth.
Yeah, definitely rotate. Tilting back and forth is a want, but again, if he's down at waist level, it'd be great if you could look up and look at people. And those mechanisms, I think, will all live on the car. And with a 4-channel controller, you'd be able to do all that: turn, drive,
right,
tilt, and rotate.
Oh,
yeah. I'm glad you're excited, Sean. I'm really excited, and I'm glad we got
to Futurama, and I love watching your projects, dude. You come up with some really good ones.
Thank you. I'm stoked. I love putting this out into the world too, because I know everyone's going to have great ideas. Please share them. Like I said, let me show this up one more time. This is community feedback right here. Having the one screwdriver I need built into him at all times is going to be a real boon in the future.
And is the top of the head going to like magnet on so you can like, or is it? Oh, I guess you want to cover that seam probably.
Yeah, it'll be once I'm done with the internals, I'm going to close it and seam it and everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you want it to look good. Awesome. Dude, I cannot wait to see the progress on this, and I don't know how much help I was here, but I just love talking about it and
that's why I wanted to. Yeah, that's why I wanted to have this conversation. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Sean. We'll have all sorts of chats about this project moving forward. If anyone watching wants to see how I got this far, we got a load of videos over on the Punish Props Academy channel. Please enjoy, and please give me feedback, because I'm a babe in the woods, and and I cannot wait to get to the other side. I think that wraps it up for us today over here on the Tested Team. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next project.